Hey everyone, Daniel Ramsey here with MyOutDesk. I'm really excited because I've got Lakeisha Robichaux here, and we are going to have a great conversation. We're going to talk about PEOs. She's the CEO and founder of Chief of Minds. What a killer name. Great work of that name, Lakeisha. I love it.
Thank you.
And really, you're an HR and staffing consultancy, which is really cool because you kind of do a little bit of HR, a little bit of staffing, and you basically are a PEO, but you work on the consulting side, which is really cool for us. And so thanks, Lakeisha, for being here today. And we're just going to have some fun. So let's start with how'd you get started in the business?
Great. Well, first, let me say thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and to share some of this information and then talk about our company. So we first started out, we started off as an HR consulting company. I was the executive director of a school district, and we were chartering out all of our schools, but the majority of our schools, should I say. And we're chartering out, some of the charter schools were coming to me and saying, hey, I need someone to handle my human resources, because my background is HR, actually. So I've worked in the regional HR director, and human resource manager for Fortune 100 and 500 companies, and actually started out in the school district as the executive director of HR, but then moved over to the executive director and oversaw the operations. So the schools were coming and they wanted to hire me. I said, well, instead of doing that, why don't I just do some consulting work for you? And we did that. And then from there, the business just blossomed. We went from just a human resource consulting, then we added on payroll, training and development, up until we actually landed on PEO, which was our sweet spot, where we offer, the variety of HR, payroll, workers' compensation, training and development, and compliance and benefits. So Here we are. We're excited.
And we were talking earlier, and I was curious, what do you find as your secret sauce, like the thing that your clients just so appreciate about your particular business?
So our secret sauce would be definitely our relationships that they appreciate. First off, our expertise, the knowledge that we bring. We have a wealth of knowledge and experience, in human resources. We started HR departments organically, have built them up from the ground up. And then the relationships that we build, because we're not just, an outsourced company that handles, the HR and the payroll for our clients. We are a true member of the team. So our clients, they really don't make any type of decisions when it comes to HR-related, employee-related actions unless they talk to us. But that's because they trust us. We've gained that trust with them and that partnership, so they know that our core intent and what we want to do is help drive the success of the business. And as you know, employees are your most important asset. And so one wrong move or action that is taken can, hold you liable. And so our goal is to make them, to reduce that liability as much as possible by giving them the right guidance, direction, and making sure that they're compliant when it comes to employee matters. So our sweet spot is, the relationships that we have, and then our knowledge and expertise around HR.
I love that. Usually we're talking a lot about the stick and not much about the carrot in the HR space, because it's always about not getting in trouble from firing somebody or not. But I'm kind of curious, having you here and being an HR person and having such a vast knowledge and experience in that world, what are some of the best carrots you've found that you help your clients create within their businesses?
So one, I would say, is probably a well-written, thought-out employee handbook. Because employee handbook is everything. Oftentimes what happens is, when you first start a business, that's kind of like on a back burner. You think about, I don't need that right now. I just really need to drive the business, which is true. But when you start expanding, you hire employees, you need that employee handbook. And, we do a really great job with maintaining it, putting one together first and foremost. That's inclusive of all of the handbooks that in the policies, that you really need that relate to that employee. Because what we find is that oftentimes, clients, or potential clients, what they'll do is they'll get a handbook from somebody else, or they'll download one off of the internet.
They're borrowing their buddies,
Exactly.
I love this because I call that hitchhiking in somebody else's vehicle. And it's no good for business.
Yes, not at all. Because there's policies in there that don't apply to them.
That's right.
Policies in there that really could get them, in trouble. and some of the things that they don't even need that they're offering, but they really shouldn't because they're not there yet, or they have surpassed that. So we create a well-written, compliant, employee handbook that encompasses all of the laws, rules, and regulations from the federal level to the state level to the local level. Yep. And I would say that's definitely, one of the carrots that we offer. And employees, we make sure that they're signed by all employees, because we're also technology driven as well. Everything's electronic, so they review this and they always have it handy in our electronic system. Employees can review it and they sign it as well. And as the laws are updated, we go in and we update it for our clients, sure. So that way, if it is always ever changing, they stay current to it. So definitely employee handbook. The other carrot would be as we on employee relations issues, different investigations and different things that are done. Oftentimes our clients, they're worried, okay, what if I say the wrong thing? How do I know if I have enough paperwork, documentation, what have you? Right. So we do a lot of guidance on that. We create the forms for them to use. We sit in either personally or virtually. Oftentimes it is virtually, where we sit in, if there's a conference with an employee, whether it's a praise or, whether it's something that, disciplinary that we have to sit in, and we guide that conversation, for them. We assist them, what they, need to say. And then we're a witness also, that it actually happened. So that's one of our nuggets. And also training and development. We do a good bit of training and development to make sure that they stay on top, especially like sexual harassment. That's one of the trainings that we provide. Our employees appreciate. It always comes up somehow, some way. And so how do you handle it? What do you need to do? Yeah. We guide and we have that training for them, for all employees.
That's awesome. We're one of the things that's interesting is you kind of migrated into the PEO world. What have you learned since doing that, being HR specific and then kind of moving your business model over? What are some of the learnings that you've had in that process?
So some of the learnings is that really our core client is a small to mid-sized business.
Yep.
Not your large businesses, but small mid-sized businesses that they really do need the whole gamut because they are really, their focus in which they should be on the core of their business. Yeah. And so, first we did the HR consulting, and what I have learned is that, of course, businesses really need that whole gamut, the benefits, the workers' comp, the training and development, the compliance, to really be successful. And it needs someone that really can do it from a expert, background to be able to handle it. What I have found is that oftentimes clients will want to do it themselves. I have it, they'll get someone else to do it. And once we come on board, they're sounding like, oh my God, I'm so glad you all came, because it's not something that they did, but it's something that, oftentimes they think that they can do, but they really can't. And so being able to offer, the whole variety, so that way it just lifts up that burden off of whether it's the operations person or the administrative office manager, so they really can focus on growing the business is something that they really, really, really need.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a big deal. In fact, most businesses that grow and succeed, they know they need specialists to come in and consult so they can stay focused on their core competency, which is, the whole reason they started a business.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Hey, we were talking earlier and you said something about this program that helped you grow and scale your business. And I'm so excited because, that's what we do. We help businesses grow and scale with virtual professionals. That's a part of our whole ethos as a company. And so I'm really excited to hear about your story. You entered a program and why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Yes. So Goldman Sachs, 10,000 Small Business Goldman Sachs program. Love the program. I would recommend it to any, business owner, entrepreneur. If you are looking to scale and grow your business, is something that you should seek out. It's nationwide, where you can apply for the program. But with the program, it taught us, we went over marketing, we talked about finances, we talked about negotiations. What does that look like? What does your staff should look like? As you scale, you will need different levels of staff, departments. And then also legacy. What is your exit strategy, in your business? What do you want your legacy to look at? And it gave us a broad view, and we honed in on all of those different areas as a business owner, how to scale and grow our business. And one of the things that actually brought me into the PEO world is when I was doing this, the executive director at the time, he asked me, he still is the executive director, David Payton, I'll give him a shout out right now. But he asked me, he said, have you ever thought about PEO, providing PEO services? And he told me that one of the previous cohort alumni, they actually offer PEO. He said, that's something you should really think about, because what you're doing is basically the same thing, because we were offering these different, services, but just not under the PEO frame. And so after we had that conversation, I researched it more, gave it some more thought. And then that was my segue into the PEO world. So, Goldman Sachs opened up so many doors, and they're actually still continue to do so. But it also increased, made me aware of the PEO model. And it's probably something that at the time they said would really serve our clientele really well. And then also on a broader level as well, too. So after that, we brought on that PEO model.
What I love about the PEO space, too, is it's fairly new. Most businesses don't know about it. It's like,
yes.
It's the whole HR outsourcing. It's what you do. It's what we do.
Right.
What's the advice you'd give our audience that are listening, that are entrepreneurs, that are business owners who've never even considered PEO or outsourcing or having an HR professional like you, that they can kind of rely on? What advice would you give them?
I would say, really look at to do it. It is fairly new. So there's a lot of education around what it is, how it's helpful. Because oftentimes in the beginning, I'll go ahead and put this out, that business owners are scared because they think that there's going to be some type of control taken away. But there is no control taken away at all, because you still make the decisions in your business. We are there really to help you, to lift the burden, off him, so that way you don't have to worry about, the payroll taxes or the compliance, that you're updated on the laws, that, workers' comp, if you have a claim, who follows up on that? You have someone, right at your fingertips that's taking that away from you. So that way you can really focus on the core. Again, it is something new, but I definitely say embrace it. If you really want to focus on the core of your business for it to grow and scale, let someone that has the expertise to do that for you, that can really partner with you, that want, they're invested in the success of your business. Because if you're growing, you're successful, so is that PEO. There's no other way, around it. We are so excited when we hear our clients are growing, they're getting contracts, they're going to other states. We are excited, for them. And we celebrate right along with them. When they speak about it, or they have meetings, we're right there, to celebrate with them and grow with them. So, definitely try it out. I would say, make sure that, that particular PO is a good fit. Ask them questions. Tell them about the things that are going on. Give them scenario-based questions about some of the hiccups that you've had in your business, and ask them how would they handle that. And they can walk you through it, and you can really see if they have the expertise in the background that you want them to have to be able to help your business flourish and support you.
I love it. Okay, Lakeisha, how would our audience, or anybody that's listening to this video, we're going to turn it into a blog post, a podcast, an email. So how would somebody get a hold of you if they like what you're talking about and they want to explore working with your company, Chief of Minds?
Absolutely. If you want to explore more, you want to learn about it, how we can support you and really partner up with you and develop that relationship as you grow and scale your business, you can reach out to us on our website, which is www.chiefofminds.com. That's CHIEFOFMINDS.com. You can find us on LinkedIn. Our handle is @ChiefOfMinds. Same thing with Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, @ChiefOfMinds. So we're on all of your social media platforms. You can email us at service@chiefofminds.com as well, too, if you want to reach us by email. And then phone number, if you want to do that, it's 225-754-9506. But we would love to talk with you, hear what great things are going on in your business, and how we may be able to assist you and help your business grow.
Lakeisha, you've been awesome. Before we leave, what's next for your business? Like where, tell our audience where you guys are going in the future.
So what's next for our business is we plan to, really support our clients and ramp up on the benefits and staffing side. So we are retooling what that looks like for our PEO clients. All of our PEO clients come to us, for benefits and staffing services as well, too. And so we are retooling that as, we're in here for the 2020 year to see how we can best support them and kind of streamline and automate that a little bit more. So that's up for us. And then also, in 2020, some of the new things that are on the horizon is with the changes. So right now, if you remember FLSA, Fair Labor Standards Act, for 2020 now, that overtime rule has changed. And so We're making sure that all of our clients are compliant with the FLSA with classifications, which the majority of them are. But as that's changed, because with the new budgets and everything like that, some of that has changed. So we're looking at making sure that if we need to restructure what that is, that we're ahead of the game on that.
I love it. That's what's coming up for 2020. Lakeisha, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate your time.
Same here. Thank you so much.